Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are playing with a hardcore Drain Essence Death Knight. And we are now gonna enter the Ashes of Malmouth expansion content. Just took the liberty of already walking to the crystal here. The mobs leading up here, they were level 68, so 5 levels below me. Not all that interesting. First boss here is 5 levels above me, so that nicely balances things out. My goal for this episode is to get to the Coven Refuge. And kill a boatload of things on the way there. So the Devotion Shrine will not be in Gloomwald on Elite difficulty. It's there on normal, but not here. So Ectoplasm is the first place where we're gonna get some more devotion points. And then afterwards, Crown Hill also has one still on Elite. So the expansion content is where things are supposed to get a bit tougher, so have to be careful about this. Also, 2 weeks have passed since the last Grim Misadventures dev news post. So we have some more news about the upcoming expansion, the Forgotten Gods. And the latest announcement was about new movement skills, which look very interesting. So they're adding a system for the new expansion where medals can get augments, and those more augments will all grant you movement skills. Because right now there are no augments yet for medals. They're the only item component, well, besides relics that is, that don't have augments. So adding movement skills to medals sounds like a nice thing. So there's going to be 6 different new movement skills that will be available as augments. One of them is going to be Charge, which is effectively going to be the Soldier Blitz skill, but in rune form. The next one is going to be Vanish, which is effectively going to be the the Nightblade's Shadow Step. Gotta keep my wits about me since they are trying to murder me here. So said, now gotta be a bit more careful about the expansion content, and ooh, look at that. Void touched. Lot of chaotic damage coming my way. So next up, Rift Tear, which is an actual targeted teleport. It's a ground targeted teleport, which as far as I was aware, the devs deemed to be impossible to do in this game engine. So the fact that they managed to figure it out is pretty cool. And it might have potential for some other things in the future, of course. I mean, if they figured out how to do it, depending on how difficult it was to do and what the technical implications are, might be that in the future we'll see more skills or other things involving teleports in some way, shape or form. I mean, if they have figured out how to do it, it could be that it's now just new tech that they could use in the engine. We'll have to see about that. So another movement is Disengage, which is like throwing a smoke bomb and then teleporting backwards away from your foes. So looking to go down into the stairs here. Then there's a Leap, which looked a little bit like the Path of Exile Leap Slam attack. So you leap and then there's a bit of a shockwave that supposedly looks to damage your opponents. And lastly there's Rush, which has you move through a straight line to your target, and if there's enemies in between you'll hit them. So that's a little bit like the Diablo 3 Monk's dash skill. So it all looked pretty cool. You will be able to obtain those augments by allying yourself with one of the 3 Witch God factions. So the Witch Gods, of course, are Dreek, Solal and Bismiel. And by allying yourself with one of those 3 factions, you will gain access to 2 of the 6 movement skills that are associated with that specific faction. And I suspect, it's not written anywhere, but I suspect that it's probably gonna be grouped thematically. So I would think that the charge blitz skill would probably be combined with the rush, since they look very much the same. The vanish and disengage both have a little bit of a Nightblade feel to them, and then that leaves the Rift Tear teleport. Well, actually, now that I think of it, the leap is of course more of a movement skill, just like blitz. Okay, actually, just rewind, undo that. I don't think that theory actually makes sense. No, it's going to be paired 2 and 2, 2, 2 and 2. But yeah, my speculation on that, I don't think it actually made any sense. Ooh, hello there. So the augments will have 2 upgrade levels. No, the default one you can obtain from the faction vendors. The second upgrade level, the epic one, you can obtain as blueprints from defeating the most powerful foes in the game. So that's probably going to be a boss drop. I wonder if it's going to be specific boss drops or if they're just going to be generic boss drops. And lastly, there is going to be an ultimate upgrade level that you can only earn in the new game mode. And they describe it as a shattering new game mode. I wonder if the choice of words there is a hint. Wait, are you bloody healing him? Yes, you are. Bloody Bloodsingers. Wait. So, if it's a shattering new game mode, I wonder what that's gonna be. Because by itself it's just one word, shattering. But yeah, is it gonna be something like Crucible? No, something that's completely different from the game mode, from the normal campaign playthrough? Or is it something that will share some kind of progress with the base game? No, like an endless dungeon sort of thing. Because that could be very cool as well. And the devs did say that you would be able to access it. Just I remember reading it. Let me rephrase that slightly. I remember reading that it would be available not too far into the game. Because you wouldn't have to complete the campaigns and things like that. So I'm really wondering what's up with that. We did this. Now, let's take it back and... Oh, hello.
I can't do that yet.
Let's take out this one first. Take out the add-ons, Bloodsinger. Wait. Wait. Yes. There we go. Gotta keep my eye on the healer. But if it would be some kind of endless dungeon sort of thing. Now, a shattering new game mode, something like maybe that's the world has been shattered, or in the void there's no fragments of the world, or maybe you're all dreaming it. That's also possible, of course. But if you're going with the theme of things being shattered, that would allow them a good excuse to just take little bits and pieces of the game world.
Please just leave me.
Let's navigate him out. Good. No, just take pieces of the game world of different settings and stitch them together into some form of endless mode. It's like Path of Exile maps, Diablo 3 rifts, things like that. Because that's something that, well, we've got Crucible, but Crucible is more like a endless wave of minions thing. But it doesn't have too much scenic variety, and it is very, very grindy. There's no real sense of progression, there's no loot that drops, it's very, very focused killing experience, so to say. Which, and the fact that you don't get any progress with your character with factions in the real world is also a little bit annoying. Let's see. Take this one out. The Gloomwald stash. So yeah, I'm curious to see where it is going. But yeah, having some movement skills available to all characters is gonna be awesome. Because half the reason that playing either a soldier or a Nightblade is a good thing is because of those movement skills. I mean, one-pointing Blitz is what I do in all soldier classes. One-pointing Shadow Step for the Nightblade and ditto. No, of course when you're playing with weapons that is, because you do need weapons for those. But having an actual teleport in the game would be nice as well. That would allow casters and shooters some kind of option. Though for the more shooting characters, the vanishing, the smoke bomb plus backwards leap teleport thing. Mechanically that is pretty nice because you don't want to be in melee range, and blinding enemies that get too close is kind of helpful. Presumably if they're blinded they won't chase after you either. So there is a dungeon here. Oh, this one. Yes, yes. We are close to the waypoint. Also, I remember some Arcanist shenanigans in this dungeon. So gotta be careful. And also take out all the Bloodsingers before they start healing. There's a boss in the top end dungeon, so if we take the bottom path here, then we can clear out most of the potential add-ons before engaging with the boss itself. Though I might actually be getting close enough now that the boss is gonna trigger. Yes, okay, level 80, marrow, something. Does decent damage. On the other hand, so do I. Let's just reflect some of the damage taken back to you. That's always a success. Okay.
That skill's not ready.
My energy is draining, but other than that, I look to be doing pretty well.
Can't do that yet.
Also, this boss itself doesn't appear to be an Arcanist, it's just that I've got really bad luck with Arcanist heroes here. Or good luck, depending on how you see it. But yeah, Arcanists. They are the bane of most of my character's existence. I just really don't like facing that mod since it strips your auras. I tend to like auras. Also, defensive procs tend to be attached to auras, so losing auras means losing defensive procs, which, well, usually is not that great for your health. So, that was that. Let's get forward to the waypoint. Wait, is this part of an uncharted? No, wait, this is just part of the charted territory. Okay, another waypoint. And then one more waypoint to go. Oh, we gain a level. Let's actually spend those skill points. Yeah, shield training is what we were doing. Could spend another point into spirits. Let's squish this a little bit. Okay, I already know this. That's good. And then we can move forward. So I suspect next episode we'll do some traipsing through the Uktenbog looking for Kraval. So rather than going straight for Barrelholm and being efficient, I'm just Gonna run around like a fool, clearing out all the things. Probably no pick up a bunch of quests since we do have decent reputation with the Coven. So it's not gonna be all for nothing. I'm very much looking forward to seeing on what the new boss is gonna be. I mean, it looks related to Logorian, so I'm expecting quite an epic fight. Especially since it just newly got added to the game, there's a decent chance that it's maybe a little bit overtuned, so could be that it is a fatal mistake. But, well, I'm so close, I just feel obligated to try it out. Diseased. You hit like a ton of trucks. So let's take out some friends, so there's just one of you trying to murderize me. Rather than all of you. Oh, he's already dead. That went quickly. Just trying to embrace the fact that I'm a medium range build a little bit more. And there we got Caraxes. Alright. I got some damage redirection. Also, you're level 80.
Can't do that yet.
So that's 6 above me. Yeah, but so far in one-on-one fights, often the pattern is I take a hit, and before the next hit comes in, I'm full again. That's still a healthy survival patterns in my opinion. The moment that changes, I need to be much more careful. But I'm not really relying on things like Overguard too much just yet. It's very much just drain essence and Warcry for some damage reduction, even though at this level it's on 12% reduction. And Siphon Souls for some extra damage and a leech, and of course offensive ability reduction, which helps. And the Reap Spirit, which does damage, but also it has a weapon damage component. And as a result, it does benefit some from my life leech, which is 31%, so no, that is not insignificant. The Reap Spirit is listed as 63% main hand damage. So what I understand is I'll use 63% of my 31% life still. So now that's roughly 2/3, that's roughly 20%. So roughly 20% of all the damage that I deal with a Reap Spirit, at least with the initial hit, I'm assuming, I don't think it works for the damage over time component, will be leached back. So this one, what did it say? 2500 to 3700. So, well, 20% of roughly 3000. That's a decent shot in the arm. On top of all the other things that I already do to heal myself. Oh no, it's a trap. Whatever shall I do to fend off these Uktenborg golems? So, taking the scenic route around, say hello to everybody at the inn. And then we continue onwards to the south. Wait, you looked bossy. Oh no, you're just a scared little witch doctor. Well, it's not a witch doctor, but effectively it's a witch doctor. Because they heal and they do damage and they're annoying. Okay. Had to get hyperactive really quickly. I'm gonna put an overguard up just because things are really heating up here. Bloodsinger. And then we move forward. Some of the monsters, especially the Wendigos, they're just much more hyperactive than some of the monsters in the base game. As such, damage has a potential to spike a lot faster, and it might be more difficult to react to events. So things like overguard that are like a preventive damage shield up front might be a little bit better. Since now it just proactively increases your regen as well as your damage reduction / mitigation. And then if you take out part of the pack of enemies, total damage output of the enemies goes down, their spike damage potential goes down, and then if Overguard then wears out, it's okay because you've used that to reduce the overall damage output of the pack, and therefore you don't really need Overguard anymore to mop up the rest. That's part of the thinking behind it. So, Heart of Coraxus. Ulgrim, I remember him. We used to fight together. So, and of course, once we get here... Oh, first of all...
See anything you like?
You. I'd like one of them Wits.
See anything you like?
Anything else that we can buy here? A blueprint and another blueprint.
See you around. Come see what's left of my way.
And then, ooh, look at that. Augments. Of course, I don't have enough augments yet. Nope, completely not enough augments yet. So let's shop for more augments. Cold Lightning, Frostburn and Electrocute damage as well as 4% health. I think I already have most of those things. 200 flat health. That's not bad, since I don't think the percentage health bonuses are really helping all that much anymore. Flat health, of course, gets amplified much more then. I just get 10 of those. Then Rot Flesh Powder, Bleed and Life Lead Resistance, as well as Vitality and Decay. That's good. Let's just get a stack of 10 of those as well. Oh yeah, this is all jewelry. Vitality and Chaos damage, as well as reduced stun duration. Maybe if I'm all out of resists, then some reduced stun duration, not a bad idea. Since it is considered to be a resistance. Reduced freeze duration, could be some quality of life in there. Petrify. And bonus to health and offensive ability. Oh, I actually do like the sound of that. In the numbers here, against bosses, numbers might seem to be relatively low, but against regular mobs, I'm regularly seeing just a hit chance of over 90, sometimes even just 100% chance to hit with a decent crit chance. And with defensive, oftentimes it's somewhere in the 80s, like it is here. So that is pretty decent. Okay, so the items here are actually relevant at level 84, so we'll level into that in 10 levels. It has even some level 90 stuff. So it's not relevant until then, of course. And for Honored, a bunch of extra blueprints. A whole bunch of extra blueprints, actually. And we get health, regen and bleed resistance. Pierce and Chaos and Elemental. Okay. Lots of flexibility. And then, of course, even more augments. Yep. Yeah, that whole joke about becoming an augment merchant, not actually all that bad, because I got all the augments. Well, all the ones that matter, of course.
Put it to good use.
So coming here, I think there were some NPCs down here that wanted. Wait, did we? Oh no, that's just a Port Fabry one. I think there was the one witch that we met in the Blood Grove, but it might very well be that we skipped her this time through. And of course this guy is a little bit silly, but well, there's hidden spoils here. And I like loot. Loot is good. Then you have an extra quest for me. Look for the missing sisters. And what can I do to help? Okay, so we first need to resolve the core quests here before we can continue here. But that's okay. For the Lost Father, we can go back to the Devil's Crossing. That gets us another flask. And then, of course, we can put those flasks back into the stash.
I am relieved that
Bit shaken, bit stirred. But it's alright. So we have the Tonic of Clarity and we have the Tonic of Reshaping to reset attribute and devotion point, respectively. I've only used them sparingly, even though for each character effectively you get at least one of them, and I think for a later quest you might even get another one. So for each difficulty you get it, so choices in attribute points, they're not as permanent as they used to be. Similarly for devotion points, now if you want to respec one or two, you just go to your local seer, give them some crystals, some iron bits, and they'll reset some of the points for you. But if you want to unspec 50 of them, oftentimes that means you have to grind crystals to do it. These potions make it completely free, so that is just a nice quality of life improvement. So we've managed to make it to the next stage in the journey, to the Coven's Refuge. So next episode, Uktenbok, and now we're just gonna see if we can do as many things in there, and then on our way to the barrel home. So, and of course, and then there's the Caval fight, which I'm looking forward to. Really curious to see what the devs have done with that. But for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next episode. Bye bye.